Hi everyone, I'm Nicole xstitch. Today is March 19th, 2023, and this is Flosstube number 10. As of today, I have stitched 165,603 stitches since I started stitching in 2020, and I have stitched 2,723 stitches since my last video, which I was really surprised by that number. It's higher than usual. Let's hop right in. If you read the title, then you probably know I got monetized since my last video came out. That one was the one that was going to push me over the edge, and I think I mentioned at the end of that video as well that I was pretty sure I was going to hit the markers to be monetized at that point in time. And I just firstly want to say thank you again to everybody who has watched my videos in the past and who helped me reach this milestone. It's a big deal to me. I know it seems silly because we do this for fun, but it is kind of cool to see the other side of YouTube creation where you can actually make a little bit of money off of all the work you put in to create these videos. And I think it really just shows that people are enjoying your content, and I would love to be able to use the bit of money that I get from making YouTube videos to, fund my cross-stitch hobby, be able to do more giveaways and things like that. So if you want to hear more about my journey to monetization, stick around towards the end of the video, and after all of the normal Flosstube updates, I'll talk a little bit more about that. Anyway, so getting on to the normal Flosstube, I don't have any new finishes or fully finishes or new starts this week. It doesn't happen very often, so you'll probably hear me say that a lot in my videos. I also can't believe that I'm already at Flosstube number 10. It's been a whirlwind. I didn't realize that this was going to be my 10th video, and honestly, I'm kind of surprised that I've gotten here this quickly. I've been really enjoying making videos every week though, and I'm really happy that you guys seem to be enjoying them too. So on to our whip updates for this Flosstube. Again, I work on my whip go goals pretty much. Those are my main goals for each month. And so you'll see me show the same few things from video to video for about a month, and then they might change over. And so lately I've been showing you Ocean Wave and Elegant Lace. So I'm going to show you those again today because those are the only two projects I've worked on. So first we have Ocean Wave 341. This is a pattern by ZephyrMood. And it is a full coverage kind of aerial view of an ocean wave. So I can put in the completed mock-up picture here, and then I'll also hold this up and I'll try to put in a comparison picture here so that you can see where I was last time and how much progress I've made since then. So right now I am at 1,851 stitches out of a total of 9,532. So that puts me at 19.42%. My goal for whip go for this piece for this month is to get to 33%. So I'm not quite there yet, but I'm about 2/3 of the way there. And I think I can make it. We're about 2/3 of the way through the month, so it seems reasonable to me. I started this one on March 1st. So I started it this month for whip go. I'm doing it on 18 count white Aida 2/1 full cross with the called for DMC. There is one blend in this pattern, which is the first time I've ever done a blend before. I'm not honestly sure that I can tell the difference between the blend and the other gray that is one of the two blended colors. But I'm sure overall it makes a little bit of a difference. And it was kind of fun to try out a blend for once, so I don't know, new milestone checked off, I guess. And yeah, I am expecting to get a lot of progress on this piece in the next week, so stay tuned to Flosstube number 11 to see how far I get. I'm thinking it might even be possible for me to blow that 33% the goal out of the water, but we'll see. And I'll tell you more about why I think I'm gonna make more progress on this in my life updates section. Okay, so I've been working on that piece for my bust project primarily. I'm not working on it in the evening so much anymore. And then next I have this beautiful piece, Elegant Lace by WorksbyABC. This is on my K's Creation Z frame, and I'll give you a bit of a close up there. Making some good progress, and I've finished this corner, and then I've been working on this corner, getting all of those solid stitches in. If you can see, there's like, sorry, this is kind of awkward to hold. There's like full stitches that make this kind of darker areas, and then these lighter areas that give it kind of that lacy effect are actually half stitches. So I think that's a really cool use of, you know, different cross stitches to get a cool effect. This pattern, I am 12,482 stitches out of a total of 19,369. That puts me at 64.44% complete. I'm counting the half stitches the same as the full stitches in this. I don't differentiate between those. I'm doing this on the most gorgeous fabric, in my opinion, which is a Zweigart linen in the color Sahara. It's a 36 count, and I'm doing this one over 2 in the bright white color of DMC B5200. And so, unlike most cross stitch patterns, I'm not doing this just in the 6-stranded, but I'm actually using a specialty DMC type of thread called Floche. That's F-L-O-C-H-E. You can usually find this at your local needlework shop, or you can find it, I think, on the DMC website, but you won't find it in a normal Michaels. It's sold in a hank, so it's a pretty large amount of floss, but it's a really cool, it's kind of thicker than a single strand of DMC. You don't separate it out like the 6-stranded floss. And I would say it's the equivalent of 1.5 to 2 strands of DMC, but all on a single strand. So it's kind of nice to work with. You know, you don't get the like twisting that you get sometimes with 2 strands. And I think it really like amplifies this kind of lacy effect of the piece, and it's fun to work with. And then those little half stitches that I was showing you before, those are just a single strand of the normal 6-stranded DMC cotton. You can probably tell what the finished piece will look like from this picture, but I will also throw in a picture of the completed pattern. The original kind of like cover picture is shown on a really pretty green fabric, and I originally thought that I was going to look for kind of an emerald green to stitch my version on, and I was going to stitch it in white, but then I found this yellow instead and couldn't find a good green, and it just spoke to me. It's maybe not that surprising. You probably saw that my channel theme is yellow. It's in all my thumbnails, it's in my like channel header and all of that. It's one of my favorite colors, so this seemed like the right choice. And I was inspired to start this pattern because I saw it on Imogen xstitch's YouTube Flosstube channel, and their piece was so gorgeous. I think they did it in black DMC Floche. They still use the Floche and the single-stranded cotton. They did it in black, and I can't remember what the fabric color was, but it also looks really, really beautiful in black. And I bet it would also look really neat in a, you know, a colored floss on, you know, a more kind of neutral linen or something like that. So I feel like you can really have fun with a piece like this because it gives you a lot of freedom to choose your color combination. And it's really fun, I think, to stitch a piece that's like, you know, monochrome. So you can kind of ignore all the thread color changing and just like focus on stitching the pattern. I will also put up a picture, hopefully I'm able to do this and center it all right. I'll put up a picture of where I was last time on this piece so that you can see how much I've done. But I've made pretty good progress filling in this section and starting up over here. So I'm pretty happy with how far I've come. And my goal for this, for WhipGo for March, is to get to 75% complete. And I said, right now I'm at 64%. So I'm not entirely sure that I'm going to be able to hit that WhipGo goal, but we will see. We'll just have to see. We still have like a week and a half until the end of March, so it's possible. I'll also be working on this a lot more this evening and probably tomorrow, but then I'm not going to be able to work on it for about a week. Again, I'll go into more details about my plans and some life updates, so you'll get to hear why, but this might not hit my WhipGo goal for this month, and that's okay. I'll just finish it at the beginning of April and then move into my WhipGo goals for April. It's really not that big of a deal. I do try to finish my WhipGo goals in the month that they're called, but ultimately I just kind of want to finish them by the end of the year. So yeah, it's not too big of a deal for me. Awesome, so that is Elegant Lace. And let's see here. Yeah, so that's all my whips right now, or that's all the only whips that I've worked on since the last video a week ago. Onto plans. So I have Ocean Wave and Elegant Lace. I'm planning to keep working on them, except for, and this is kind of like a blend of life updates, I'm going to be in Hawaii next week, Tuesday through Sunday. So I'm going to have to switch over to more travel-friendly projects, and ultimately working on this big of a piece in an 11x11 Q-snap is just not super travel-friendly, definitely not friendly for working on an airplane, and I only have space for stuff in my carry-on, so I'm probably not gonna bring that with me to Hawaii. I also don't know how much stitching time I'm gonna have in Hawaii, like once I'm there, but I don't know I'll have a lot of time to stitch on the plane, and so that's why I think I can really blow my WhipGo goal out of the water on Ocean Wave, because this is in a nice, I think it's like a 7-inch hoop right now, and it's easy to carry. There's not too many floss colors. I can also pretty easily bring my tablet so that I can have Pattern Keeper with me. This is what I do on the bus, so I know I can do it on a plane. Honestly, I think stitching on a plane is easier because there's, unless you have really bad turbulence, I think it's like less bouncy than a bus, especially on bad roads, which there are a lot of bad roads on my commute. So if I can stitch this on the bus, I know I can stitch it on a plane. And it's like a 6-hour flight each way, so 6 hours of stitching-ish on Tuesday, 6 hours of stitching on the way back on Sunday, and who knows, I think I can easily hit that 33% goal. Maybe I'll even get to 50%. So I'm planning to bring this project with me, and then I haven't decided yet, but if you go a couple videos back, I shared with you that one of my good friends from undergrad commissioned me to cross stitch her a really beautiful Luna moth, and that pattern, I think that project, it's going to be in about an 8-inch hoop, so it's also relatively travel friendly, and I might bring that one also just in case I get a little bit bored with Ocean Wave, so that I have some variety, but I haven't decided yet. So that one may or may not get worked on in the next week as well. So come back next time to see a bunch of progress on Ocean Wave and maybe a little bit more on Elegant Lace, and to see how close I think I can get to my WhipGo goals before the end of March. So that's all of my plans for now. I did have a couple purchases, but I don't actually have them with me, unfortunately. You can see, again, I'm not in my normal Flosstube spot, but I'm at my boyfriend's house filming in the bedroom again, so you'll probably see this location decently often. I didn't bring my purchases with me to show you. It wasn't anything special. I went on a little bit of a Michael's trip with my housemates last Thursday, I think. Thursday. I got 2 random colors of DMC that I was one I was completely out of and I needed for Ocean Wave, and the other that I was super low on. It was just like a gray and a bluish purple color. And then I got 3 more 6-inch hoops from Michaels. I finished a lot of my projects in just plain old Michaels hoops because they're affordable and I think they look decent. They're not gorgeous. They're not a nerd hoop. They're not stained any pretty colors or anything like that. You can get a lot of beautiful hoops and things. But for me, it's an economical and easy way to finish. And I think that for displaying, especially like on a bookshelf or something like that, it looks pretty nice. So I got 3 more of the 6-inch hoops because all of this ocean wave pattern also has 3 other patterns that kind of go with it from the same designer, and I can put those 4 up here, and they're all the same size, and finished on 18 count they'll be about 6 inches in diameter, so I'm going to finish them all in 6-inch hoops. So I thought I'd just stock up so that I have those for when they're done, even though I'm sure it will take me many months, if not years, to actually finish them all. Okay, so let's do the rest of life updates since I kind of teased. The first life update is that last week I got to do another lovely outreach event for the STEM outreach group that I'm part of at the University of Washington. We're called STEM Pals. We have a really cute website if you want to go check it out. STEM Pals is basically just a bunch of enthusiastic graduate students who want to make a difference in the greater Seattle area and get K through 12, but especially high school students interested in pursuing STEM. And so lately we've been having a bunch of events. This was our 3rd one, where we've been going to elementary schools that are putting on science nights and sharing some cool physics demos with them. So we had our 3rd and final, for now, elementary school science night on Wednesday. It was really fun. It's always a good time to just get to interact with some of these younger kids and pique their curiosity and ask them questions and teach them some, entry-level physics ideas and concepts. And I always really enjoy those. They're exhausting, but I super enjoy them. And then related to that, I mentioned again, I'll mention again, that I'm going to Hawaii next week. I'm super excited. We're going for STEM outreach, which is like mind-blowing, honestly, that the reason I'm going to Hawaii is to do STEM outreach. But I'm getting to go with some other amazing graduate students from STEM Pals, and we will be working with a bunch of middle and high school students around Oahu to just get them excited about science and give them opportunities to interact with graduate students and some undergraduate students who have chosen to pursue careers in STEM, and just kind of create those connections and get them excited. We're specifically teaching them nanoscience, which I think will be really fun. We have a lot of cool activities to do with them, and of course I'm staying a couple extra days to take advantage of the beautiful location. So I'm super looking forward to that. Excited that I'll have some great stitching time while I'm traveling, and can't wait to tell you more about how it went in a future video. I'm not really sure what next week's video will look like, but I'll give you a bit of an idea of what I'm planning. So before that, let's jump into my special segment for this week. I always try to do something that doesn't fit the normal Flosstube kind of like order of things, which is normally like new starts and finishes and whips and plans and purchases, and then that's kind of the end. Maybe there's life updates. I like to throw in a little extra section, and so this week I wanted to talk more about what it means to get monetized on YouTube. I think a lot of people maybe aren't familiar with this, especially if you've never created YouTube content yourself, or you don't know anyone who has, or maybe you only watch Flosstube on YouTube and you don't watch a lot of other YouTube creators. And I've noticed that across Flosstube, there's almost none that I've been able to find, almost no content about getting monetized. So I thought that was something that is worth talking about as, a Flosstuber. And to just kind of like share what that means and what that means for me personally, and give you a little bit of a peek behind the curtain there. Okay, so first of all, what does getting monetized even mean? Basically, that means that YouTube will pay you money for the ads that play on your videos. And so you have to hit some milestones to be able to qualify for monetization. Those are that you have to have 1,000 subscribers. That's probably why you hear a lot of people kind of celebrating 1,000 subscribers as a milestone. But on top of that, you also have to have 4,000 watch hours, which means that people have spent collectively 4,000 hours watching content that you put on your channel. For me, the 1,000 subscribers milestone came first. That was a few videos ago, and then the 4,000 watch hours milestone came just last week after I posted my 9th Flosstube video. And so I didn't know what to expect there. I guess I kind of expected them to happen kind of more simultaneously, but you know, you would never really know what the rates of those two goals will be like. So I thought that was really interesting. It took me, I think, like 3 or 4 more weeks to get the 4,000 watch hours than it did to get the 1,000 subscribers. And those milestones are kind of what YouTube uses to basically like screen your channel and make sure that your content is something that they can monetize. So I think the reason that they put those prerequisites out there is so that they have enough content that's come out on your channel to kind of evaluate if you're eligible for monetization. And there's a variety of rules for that. Basically just that your content is like generally friendly. I'm not going to go into the details there, but I got the notification that I was monetized. I actually can't remember what day. Okay, I found it. So I got monetized on Wednesday. And then, like I said, there's kind of a process you have to go through to sign up for an AdSense account and for them to approve your channel for monetization before they actually start giving you money. And that took, for me, only a couple days, I think, only until Friday. Thursday or Friday, and then I was officially approved and I started earning money on my videos. So it's been like 3 days. And that process, though, I was a little afraid it was going to take a lot longer because they say like the approval of your channel could take up to a month. So I was like, oh man, I'm going to be waiting a while. For me, it was actually quite quick. I don't know how how that changes, like what factors affect how long that actually takes. So like I said, I've been monetized for like 3 days. And the way that monetization actually works in terms of like how much they pay you depends not only on how many views you get, but also on like the rate that advertisers are willing to pay for ads to be played on your videos, or at least that's how I kind of understand it. And so I'll probably pop up a few things over here. I think I've made something like $3 so far off of the views that I've gotten in those last 3 days. Of course, I haven't posted any new content in that time, so that's kind of just views trickling in on videos that have been up for like about a week. So I'm really, really curious to see how this video affects my monetization and basically how much money I'll make off of ads playing on a video from the first day it's posted. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is that the rate that they'll pay you for videos changes from video to video. And so I'll pop up a little bit of, I guess, some of the data from my channel here. It's called the CPM, which is basically the number of dollars they'll pay you per million views on a certain video. And as you can see here, some of my videos have higher CPMs than others, which means that I can make more money off of fewer views with a higher CPM. I think that is kind of the part that like the type of audience that you're pulling and things like that come into play with how much advertisers are willing to pay you. But I think that's really interesting, and I don't really know how to control it or anything, like what factors I I can change, that would change the CPM. But I think that's interesting data to at least be able to look at. So $3 so far. Let's see, let's see what happens from there. I think it would be cool to continue to update you guys on my monetization journey if you're interested. Again, I have really not seen any floss tubers. Maybe there's some out there who have talked about it, but I haven't found their videos yet. I've really not seen floss tubers talk about monetization, and I want to be transparent about it and just kind of like tell you, you know, what the situation is. I think it's interesting also to hear, you know, like I think there's kind of this taboo, like monetization and how much money you make from YouTube content is kind of like a taboo thing to talk about, and I don't think it needs to be that, right? There's none of you are like really paying me, right? The advertisers who play ads on my videos that you guys watch are the ones paying me, so I don't think there's any reason that it needs to be taboo. And I'd rather just share that information with you, especially as a, you know, a smaller channel. Most Flosstube channels stay pretty small over time, but have really like solid audiences, you know, viewers that stick around and watch your videos consistently week after week. I think that's a really unique type of channel for YouTube, where you have this like really strong audience rather than having to pull, you know, new people in for every video. And I'd like to just share how that affects monetization and stuff like that. So if you're interested, please leave me a comment down below. I was thinking of doing an update maybe after 3 months, 6 months, and maybe a full year of being monetized. I can show you guys some of the stats, how my videos did, and kind of like how much money they made, and just put that information out there for the Flosstube community to know about. Again, like I said, I'm not expecting to make, you know, a ton of money off of YouTube ads, but there's a little bit of money to be found there, I think, and I'm excited to have that to support my cross-stitch hobby and to also help me do some giveaways when I hit milestones, so that I can kind of give back to you guys, because I really do appreciate you guys watching my videos. It's really awesome to have seen some of the same people comment on my videos over and over and get to have those small conversations with them in the comments. Some people really make my days. Like I read a lot of comments and respond to comments on my commute as well, and that can be a really nice way to start your day. You guys are really sweet and really kind, and I really appreciate it. So stick around and see how much money I can make off of this, I guess, and drop a comment down below if you were interested in seeing those updates after a few more months of being monetized. All right, so that's all for my special segment. But again, if you have any other questions about how monetization works or other things you'd like to hear me talk about surrounding that as a topic, please leave those questions down below. I'd be happy to answer them as well. I'm actually thinking of maybe doing like a Q&A style video, like a Q&A style segment up in the future as my special segment. In the past, I've answered some questions in my videos, but I haven't gotten as many lately. But I'd love to see, you know, like what people are curious about knowing more about. So I'll ask for questions again in the future. But if you have any questions for me, things you're curious about, drop those in the comments below too. I'll save them up and do a Q&A video sometime. That can be related to monetization or something completely different that you're just curious to know about me or my stitching or something like that. Alrighty, so that is all of the things I have to talk about for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. Next week's video is kind of a wild card. I know usually at the end of these videos I tell you what I'm planning to talk about in my special segment for the next week, but this week I don't really know because I'm gonna be out of state for a bit. So I did mention a few videos ago, this was a while ago, when I showed my finish of Lighthouse Day by Tiny Modernist, that I actually filmed like top-down video of me doing that flat fold finish, because some people had asked how I finish things as flat folds, and that was something that I was also really curious about as a new stitcher. Like what are my options for displaying these other than putting them in a hoop or a frame. So I filmed that, and I need to edit it and also do a voiceover, so it's kind of, you know, more of a tutorial. I'm planning to do that, so it's ready to be posted next weekend. But that will just be like completely separate from Flosstube. It's not gonna be like a segment in another video, it's just gonna be like a standalone tutorial video, like a Flosstube extra or something like that. So look out for that if you're curious about learning how to flat fold, or, you know, seeing somebody else, somebody else's method for doing that. Otherwise, I'll try to put out a Flosstube video, but I have no idea if that will actually happen or not. Maybe I'll end up with some random downtime when I'm in Hawaii and I'll film a random Flosstube in Hawaii. Or maybe you won't get anything at all, and then I'll just talk about my stitching for 2 whole weeks in my next video. But I hope you stick around to find out, and I'm excited for whatever that next video is. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me for some time today. You could, you know, be doing anything else, but it means a lot that you've come here to hear about my stitching and just spend a little time with me. So thank you for that. I hope you have a wonderful next week, and I'll see you here next time. Bye.